The BBC estimates that around 10 million people had their data stolen when Transport for London was hacked in 2024. That makes it one of the biggest hacks this country has ever seen. One of the millions affected was the BBC's cyber correspondent Joe Tidy, who also uncovered the scale of what happened. I spoke to him earlier, saying TfL had said some customers had been hacked, but 10 million, it's a lot more than some.
It is more than some, isn't it? I think that some people might be quite shocked at the extent of this. It is now, by all accounts, it's one of the biggest data breaches in UK history. Very rarely do you get anything that goes above or near really 10 million people affected by this. And it's names, addresses, phone numbers, mobiles and homes, email addresses as well. And what was shocking to me was that this database that the hackers have stolen, it seems to be kind of floating around the cybercrime underworld. Someone on Telegram messaged me saying, "Have you seen this database? I think you'll be shocked at how big it is." So I looked at it and I thought, wow, OK, I mean, you have to verify these things, obviously, because cyber criminals lie. But I looked up my own name and there I was. And I had no idea, of course, that I was in this data set because TfL used an old email of mine, which is now defunct. And there are all my details. And because of that, it's quite a troubling time. I don't think the risk is that high for most people out there, though.
So you found out that you were one of the millions who were hacked. How do other people find that out?
Well, the first thing to do would be to check your emails, because TfL have now admitted that at the time they did send 7.1 million emails out to people. They're the people that they had email addresses for that were on the TfL website, or sort of they had an account with TfL. And TfL said that actually only 58% of the people that they sent those emails to open the email, because they can, of course, do these things. Like they've got an open rate, 58%. So that does tell us that there are millions of people out there that still don't even realize that they had the email from TfL. If you didn't have the email from TfL, or if perhaps you didn't give them an email address, that kind of thing, it is quite a difficult position, really. I think the only thing to do is to actually contact TfL yourself. But like I say, I think the risk for everyday people remains low.
What many people are perhaps wondering is, if this hack took place 2 years ago, why are we only finding out the scale of it now?
Yeah, and it has to be said here that, TfL have not done anything legally wrong here. So they've carried out all their statutory obligations. They've notified as many customers as they could. There were 5,000 people that they said at the time that were at heightened risk because some bank details may have been exposed during the breach. They wrote to those, as far as I'm aware, and they emailed them as well. But the vast majority of people, of course, weren't on that 5,000 list. But I think the problem we've got, of course, is that when you're not told the extent of a data breach, then you don't treat it in the same way as you should. So, for example, I remember reporting on this hack, and it was devastating for TfL. It cost them £39 million of internal chaos, really, as the systems went down, and they had to get all the staff to come in and do physical identification checks. There were problems on the live notice boards and the app, all that kind of stuff, all that turmoil. And I thought that was the story, because all they said at the time was that some people had their data stolen. So, in terms of the media and the public, we treated it in the way that you would when it's not really that big a deal. Now it turns out it was a big deal. So I think some privacy experts would say that it is paramount for these companies to be transparent from day one.